Yo, good morning, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host. Yeah, and I do hope you lot are all doing well today, sweet friends. I really do hope that. I've got a lovely coffee. It's the morning here. Down in the UK, it's game day. Chelsea playing Crystal Palace later. I'm incredibly excited, amped, and buzzed on that game. Don't worry, if the game has already been, this video is still very much relevant to you as it's talking about transfer news, but I'm referencing the game because it is later, and if you're watching before kickoff, go watch my previous upload where I build a lineup for said game. Incredibly exciting. Do subscribe also, all that kind of jargon, drop a like, be nice, be helpful, constructive to your old mate Jan. But today we are talking about transfers and squad numbers indeed. Michy Batshuayi to Besiktas. Tammy Abraham seemingly done to Roma. Chelsea yet to make 2 additional signings this transfer window. Maybe another midfielder. A lot of us speculating, Trevor Chalobah could maybe go in the middle. Ruben Loftus-Cheek seemingly possibly considered by Thomas Tuchel, but really he probably, is looking for a specialist player in that position. So, what should we start with? You know what, let's start off with squad numbers. Chelsea announced the 2021-22 squad numbers, and of course, there is a big notable change, and that, of course, is this guy, Mateo Kovačić. Now, a sort of senior important player at Chelsea, has won a couple of trophies, and he has taken the iconic number 8, from Ross Barkley, taking his number 17. And by the way, 17 is a good number at Chelsea as well. Hazard had it before his 10. And he looked a little bit like Kovačić of how they dribble on the ball and their snatcher. I kind of liked Mateo Kovačić 17. I think in its own way, it was becoming quite iconic for himself. But fair enough, number 8 is a big number. Certainly Mateo Kovačić is a big player, especially comparatively to, no disrespect, Ross Barkley. The midfielder has opted to take the number 8, the number he wears for international level for Croatia, leaving the 17 vacant for the current campaign. No comment on Ross Barkley there. It's like he robbed your house, and he's really happy about it. Not talking about the person who's had their house robbed. Presumably, Ross Barkley has got some form of exit sorted because he's had his number stripped off him, man. He must be sold. He must be being sold because that is the disrespect in that. Anyway, Tino Andrin is another player to take up a new number, moving to number 27. That's pretty cool. Tino Andrin is seemingly a player that's been really favoured by Thomas Tuchel. He knows about him from probably the coaches explaining he's a good player. Lampard gave him his debut, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Tuchel's been really impressed with him. He's been really unlucky with injury and testing positive and stuff. But in terms of what he's giving Tuchel on the training pitch, apparently it's near immaculate. And here we go. Trevor Chalobah will wear the number 14 shirt previously owned by Fikayo Tomori. So 2 players there, Chalobah and Tino, that probably are going to stay with the squad. Now remember, Trevor Chalobah, he can play all sorts of positions. He played CDM for Lorient. He's played right centre-back and right back already for Chelsea in pre-season. So Tuchel's probably looking at him like, yeah, boy. Fancy a bit of that. I can't imagine Tuchel would say, yeah, boy. But maybe. And of course, we have striker news. Let's have a little ganders. So this is one that came out of nowhere. Of course, Batshuayi going into his last year of his deal. I doubt he's of any interest on extending. But he's an easygoing guy, Batshuayi, and he probably just wants to play football. Chelsea striker Batshuayi, close to Besiktas move, claims head coach Yeltsin. Is that how you pronounce his name? The 27-year-old could be heading to Turkey after an unsuccessful loan stint at Crystal Palace. Chelsea striker Michy Batshuayi closing in on a move to Besiktas, according to the Turkish club's coach. Batshuayi did not figure in the Blues' plans. What did he say? The club's trying to sign a good centre-forward. We are now negotiating with Chelsea's Michy Batshuayi. And Batshuayi himself is pretty much confirming this with his tweets and stuff. So I think he's going to go. Chelsea will probably just be happy to get him off the books. Thomas Tuchel isn't interested in looking at him. I don't think it's fair to reflect on Batshuayi as such a negative player for Chelsea, because he went on loans when he was told to go on loans, when he wasn't fancied. He scored iconic goals in Atletico Madrid, the goal that won Chelsea the Premier League, our last Premier League. His goals to game ratio wasn't bad for a long time. I'm not sure what it is now, I'd have to check, but for a while it was like a pretty elite return in terms of his minutes per goal, because he kept coming off the bench and scoring the odd goal and stuff. So I no disrespect to Michy Batshuayi from me personally, and you know, this is like Chelsea. This is how Chelsea have been run for a long time. They've got players that maybe didn't suit them a lot, but you know, he was always we bought him when we had Diego Costa, and yes, we paid like £32 million for him at the time, which was a lot from Marseille, but you know, he was never going to displace Diego Costa. Maybe they thought he would be a long-term replacement. We'll have to see. Let's talk about strikers. Tammy Abraham. We already were talking about strikers, but let's talk about different strikers. Abraham bid accepted by Roma. Abraham wants to leave Chelsea this summer to get more regular game time. Understandable. Chelsea have accepted a £34 million, which is 40 million euros, guys, bid for Roma from Tammy Abraham, and have added a buyback clause. That's actually a really good financial deal by Chelsea Football Club to Jose Mourinho's club. The striker has been linked with a Stamford Bridge exit throughout the summer, having fallen down the pecking order under Thomas Tuchel. Lukaku's imminent arrival means he's set to be a central figure in the Blues' attack. Of course, Roma's general manager, Thiago Pinto, is keen to complete the deal as Edin Dzeko looks to set to leave Inter as a Lukaku replacement. The circle of life, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marina playing 4D chess. She's not only bought Chelsea the striker they need, she's managed to sell the replacement for the club at the bottom of the chain and make money on it. Fabrizio Romano, AS Roma are still pushing on Tammy Abraham as a replacement for Dzeko. Talks ongoing in London, with the Roma director Pinto trying to convince Abraham, as he has received an approach from Arsenal. But Arsenal just are 20th place in the Premier League after losing 2-0 to Brentford away convincingly. They got touched up by Brentford. Arsenal are in a way, like, Chelsea fans laughing at Arsenal because that is their inclination, but actually upon reflection, that happening made them think it's probably a good thing, because now Tammy's going to go, maybe not, even though it makes Arsenal look like they need a centre forward even much more. So Tammy, if he can be convinced by Jose Mourinho to go, the deal is amazing by Chelsea. Hopefully they're not pushing him out the door, because he deserves a bit more respect than that, Tammy Abraham. But if they say, look mate, you could be Lukaku in a few years' time, we'll buy you back for loads of money once you've become this player, if you want to come home, if you want to return. It's a good move. Again, I said I would have loved him to go to the Champions League side, Atalanta, that score loads of goals, rather than go to a Jose Mourinho Roma side outside the Champions League. But if Jose Mourinho's still got any of his magic power left, maybe he can convince Tammy Abraham to join his project. Of course, Jose speaks fluent English and can speak directly to Tammy Abraham, and Rome would be a lovely place to live. Maybe he can do it. Maybe he can convince himself to do it. One other really important, notable thing is Lukaku, who, people speculated, I reported on him taking the 18 shirt. I think should Tammy stays, he gets that, but he hasn't been given a shirt despite all these squad number announcements, and Chelsea have said he'll be given one in due course. We know what that means. He wants the number 9 shirt. Loads of people have speculated and talked about and reported now that he wants the number 9 shirt, and he's seeing what happens with Tammy Abraham, because he's obviously not going to play today. If the deal gets accepted for Tammy, Romelu Lukaku will take the Chelsea number 9. And it'll be Romelu Lukaku 9, good branding, Chelsea's record signing. It makes a lot of sense. So lots happening. Michy Batshuayi and Tammy Abraham out the door. Chelsea making loads of sales. Really impressive, really. But at the end of the day, it's Marina Granovskaya, and she's an amazing negotiator. Those two out the door. Kovačić taking the 8, Lukaku probably taking the 9, and then Chelsea reportedly still yet to make 2 signings after all of this anyway. What do you think, guys? Comment down below. I'm keen to hear your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this subject matter. Make sure you drop a like on your way out. Keep it locked with the bell notifications icon clicked. Thank you all for stopping by. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.